Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Thank you for stopping by today. Very recently, I asked during an episode if there was anything that you've Googled lately or looked for on YouTube or scrolling through my list of videos, and there was a topic that wasn't there that you would be interested in seeing an episode about. Somebody mentioned to me that they were curious if I had ever done an episode on when to share or bring up mental health issues, medication, and or that could lead into also health and sexual history, whether or not there's anything the other person would need to be aware of before becoming intimate with you. And I thought we could address that today. If that's at all interesting, I hope you will stick around. That's what's on the agenda. But first, let me remind you that if any point during this episode you're having a good time, at that point, would you please hit that subscribe button so that we can do it again soon? Also, I promise you, if you subscribe, I'm not threatening you, but I promise I'll be your best friend. So many people wanting to know when to bring up the fact that they're bipolar or have anxiety or depression. And I think that it's also like PTSD, which I have also had clients who have suffered with PTSD. Difficult to know when to talk about that or bring that up. And I have some thoughts on that. And these are my thoughts and what I've suggested to clients over the years and what seems to have worked for them, that the feedback has been, yeah, you're right. I'm glad that I didn't bring that up prior to meeting or on the first date or even on the second date, because here's my thoughts on that. A lot of things could go under this heading of somebody needs to earn the right to this information, right? And you can decide what that is for you, whether it is any sexually transmitted diseases or your state of your mental health or medications that you may be taking or PTSD or really anything that you view as personal. And I think that we never just lay these things out on the table. What we need to do is to feel this out. And at some point, I do believe that you will know when the time is right, as long as you know it's not the first date or the first couple of dates, right? A few dates. If it comes up in conversation or the other person shares with you that, oh, I forgot my depression meds today, or I got to stop at the pharmacy on the way home. My anxiety meds are on my last tube. At that point in time, you could also say, I know what that's like. I can relate to that, and let them ask you if they want, and you can share at that point. I think a lot of these things, someone has to be invested enough in getting to know you and having given of themselves to you, an investment of their time and their energy and resources, getting to know you before they're entitled to know things that are very personal to you. So I'm not going to give you an exact date number where I feel that you should share these things. I do believe that there will be a natural feeling about bringing it up at some time. And if it starts to get too long and you feel like, oh, geez, it's been like 2 months and I've never told this person my thing, then for sure that you can say, you know what, I keep putting off mentioning to you. I didn't know if it was going to be a big deal to you, but I feel like we know each other well enough that I want to share, all about myself with you, as I hope you feel about me. And I kind of wanted you to know that I do have PTSD that I suffer with. I just thought maybe, that was something I should share with you at this point. Or, you can bring up some article that you read about anxiety or depression and say, I was really excited to read this article. I read a great one about anxiety. I don't know if you knew that I suffer from anxiety and I take this medication, but it was really interesting because they said blah, blah, blah. And I think if it's as a matter of fact and presented in a way where you're not going to say, stop the presses, I have something huge to share with you. I suffer from anxiety. I don't want to scare you off, but I have depression that I deal with. Or, I didn't tell you this early on, but I do have the challenge I deal with daily of keeping up with my meds for my bipolar. If you don't make a big deal about it, people are more likely to not make a big deal about it. These things are so prevalent in our society that to hold them back because you feel that they're going to make such a wave, I think would probably be the wrong way to be looking at these things. But instead, just look at them as if I wouldn't share what's in my bank account with you, not knowing you very well on a first date. But, later on, I might say, well, I'm pretty proud I saved up $3,000 this month or whatever. So I might talk about money with you later if I feel like I can be the open book I typically am with my friends, because we've reached a place that is very comfortable like that. So I'm going to leave it up to you with those guidelines and hope that you find that helpful. If you did, please listen to my mama down there. That's my little mama. She's telling you to give the episode a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel so that we can hang out again soon. And if you hit that ring bell, then the YouTube will tell you every time I upload a new episode, and you won't miss any. You'd hate to miss the one that's really just was your question or something you were really curious about. I appreciate you stopping by today for this quick tip, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, have a good one.